So last night, I get a message from one of my homies. He's texting in the the boys group chat. It's like just all of us in there as a group chat, and he asked like, "Hey, do you guys have any tips for building muscle?" And I think I just got through a workout when he had sent that message. So I was just kind of like already like on it a little bit, and literally all I typed was "eat more, train hard." And that was probably like the most simplest way I've ever said how to build more muscle like ever in my life. I don't think I've ever put training or the concept of building muscle in a simpler form, ever. Because it's very easy to understand, right? Especially in his case, he's a bit more on the underweight side. So saying eat more and then train hard, it applies to him. So it's just kind of like a general use. Something even more general would just be train hard. Boom, train hard, right? But like me some time ago, me even a couple of months ago, or me a year ago would have been like, well, you want to make sure that you pick the right exercises and follow the right workout plan in order to build the proper amount of muscle. Then next step, you want to make sure you do periodization and you blah 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 blah. Just all this other stuff that would have like complicated the whole entire thing and made them confused. I mean, like, do you think do you think the average person knows what like tempo is and like slow and controlled and make sure you retract the muscle blades here? Like, do you think they know that? Do you think they know the word hypertrophy? No, what they're going to understand is to train hard. What they're going to understand is to eat right. What they're going to understand is stay consistent, basically. So you want to put things down into the most basic terms, like whatsoever. And when it comes to like quote unquote like following the optimal plan for building muscle and stuff like that, listen, like all of that stuff, having to consider all of that stuff and having to learn all that stuff and study it and remember it and apply it, that stuff takes time. That stuff takes time and energy. People already make a million and one excuses as to why they can't work out. Now they're just going to have more excuses. Well, I don't have time to learn how to build muscle because I know it's a complicated process, blah, blah, blah. So the only thing about building muscle that is, something everybody should know is that it takes time. It doesn't matter how good genetics you have, how bad genetics you have, how much you train, whatever. It takes time to build muscle. It takes years, years upon years upon years to get a physique that you find desirable or that you want, which technically you probably never will because you're always going to want more. I feel like that's just human nature. But again, all this stuff, it takes time. So why not simplify it? Why not simplify it and then kind of having it like run out through your brain in the background and then elevate every other part of your life that needs um that complicated analyzation, that complicated use, whatever. So and it's just like again, like when it comes to building muscle, like if there's one thing you don't want to complicate, it's your training. Because when you start complicating it, you're not going to enjoy it. You're going to get confused and whatnot. And you want to leave kind of like more complicated thought process to other stuff. Because unless you're going to become a bodybuilder, a professional bodybuilder, or whatever, then I don't see the point in you having to like learn every little bit of exercise knowledge and whatnot. I mean, if you just have just these just simple basic exercises. Example, my father. All right, so he has bigger arms than me. He has, he's just has a lot more muscles than me, and probably a lot more muscles than a good amount of the people that might be listening or watching to this channel. Not to like hate or anything like that, but I'm just saying. So basically, his exercise routine consisted of when he was in Africa, right? And Africa had access to limited equipment and limited knowledge about training. He had access to bench press, bicep curls, push up, barbell rows sometimes. What else? And like body weight squat. those would be like the main exercises that he would stick to for years and years and years and years to come. And like, even stuff like tricep extensions and whatever, of course, different push-up variations, right? And then running, stuck to that for years, years. And look where he is now. And of course, he's also done a bunch of like ab work exercises like sit-ups and leg raises. And it's to the point to where, like, sure, he might have a lot more fat. It's not like he's lean or anything like that. But if he flexes hard enough, you can see like some ab definition through his gut. So that means he has built up his abdomen so much to the point to where those muscles are large enough to protrude through that many layers of fat. And again, that's just years of being consistent and staying dedicated to exercises that have been proven to be effective, right? And I see the way he trains. I don't know if when he was younger he trained more difficult or more complicated or whatever. But I mean, when I showed him these exercises and whatnot, and he'd be like, I've never heard of this. Like when I told him the word hypertrophy or building muscle, he didn't know what that meant. He didn't know what that was. He just knew these basic time-tested exercises that he just stuck to for years and years and years. Sure, he might have fell off a bit, because of like just a lot of responsibilities that he had to take care of, but he still stuck to them, and he's still like well performing in them. So it's like, do you need to do all these complicated novel exercises? Do you need to have this complicated workout program? Do you need to let me make sure I train these muscles on these days, the rest of these muscles on these days, and then I'll take one rest day out of the week or 2 rest days out of the week. Okay, and then I'll make sure to get all the protein in as I can. Make sure I can eat all my macros, track my calories, blah blah blah. It's like, dude, eat right, train hard. Boom, eat right, train hard. Maybe you might have to look up what's eating right, but a lot of the times you can guess like, hey, should I really be eating this candy bar? Or should I really be eating this like fast food burger? Train hard. Hey, so should I really only just be doing 3 push-ups, or should I be doing as many push-ups as I can? You know what? It might just be easier just to do as many push-ups as I can, or do enough that's gonna challenge me. A lot of this stuff might even take common sense, right? Some people can be spinning their wheels for years and years and not get it, but most of the time, again, years and years, you're going to eventually understand it. So it's just like, why complicate things? And it was interesting too, because when my friend sent that message, asking, how to build more muscle, whatever, I was thinking like, should I send this? Should I just send eat right, train hard, or eat more, train hard? Like, should I maybe send something with more nuance or whatever? And I'm like, no, I think that's it. I think that's all I need to say, because that's it. And I get comments saying, you should take some rest days, whatever, things like that. But it's like, dude, like, for one, this whole channel thing is an experiment. I mean, how would it be if I uploaded a video, Daily Calisthenics, I uploaded a video and I wasn't working out. I was just talking to the camera, or that wouldn't make any sense. And plus, again, I love training. I love to work out. I enjoy it. I make time for it every single day. And the only thing that's, I would say, keeping me from recovering 100% is just sleep. But I know that's just because I have school right now. So I know, like, my sleep is going to be, a bit compromised for the time being. But again, it's like I can always adjust my workouts for, just depending on, how much sleep am I going to get? What am I going to be doing the day before or whatever? So, there's just so many things out here that, can be seen as distractions or seen as, just problems that kind of stray us away from doing what it is that, we need to do. I mean, a way to complicate something that is so simple, it's just crazy that we're able to just do that now in this, modern day and age. I mean, all the studies coming out saying, oh, this exercise is not effective, or this exercise is more effective, or you need to start doing these more, or blah, blah, blah. It's just, bro, it's like, why even, like, listen to all that? You know, you could pick the most simplest thing, like taking, what, every single day, 15 minutes doing something. 15 minutes doing something. You could put on a YouTube video of one of those, like, follow along workout videos or whatever, and just do that. Like, you know, for 15 to 20 minutes, or, you know, 10 minutes at least every day or something like that. It's like, so, you know, why have these things be so complicated? Why have these things be so difficult? Why make these things so hard to understand? You know, why do that? Why, you know, have, again, something so simple, literally something like, go back 1900s. Guys have been able to get, like, in tremendous physiques. The science and the research and the equipment that we have today did not exist. You know, they literally built their bodies from their own bodies. And they were probably training every day. Maybe, you know, a couple of days out of the year, they, you know, they weren't able to work out because they had to make sure they had to do this familial thing, or they had to make sure they got this business inquiry or whatever. I mean, so it's like, I don't know, man. Like, with me, I realize every time I would write a new workout split, and that was a problem too. I would always be switching, like, workout splits and whatnot, and I wouldn't stay consistent to them long enough. Like, of course, I would see results because I was still day in, day out doing the same, like, couple of exercises every couple of days, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But it's like, at some point, I would always find myself not having fun or not enjoying the workout. You know, the whole entire workout in itself was like, I just, like, this isn't fun. This isn't enjoyable. And it just felt, like, weird. I don't know. It was interesting. It was like, how can something I fell in love with be not intriguing anymore? So I decided that, like, you know, I was just going to do this. I was going to, you know, train the way I train now. You know, switch it up. Like, you know, some days I might do slower tempos. Other days I might do faster tempos, like, where I might be just trying to go for reps. Other days I might really be trying, you know, I might try and put a lot more tension on the muscles. I mean, just, again, like, I talk about this a lot, or I mention it a lot, but, like, you know, New York calisthenics dudes, bro, they work out, like, every day, or like, most days out of the week. And they train for long periods of time, like an hour, 2 hours. And they have, like, these amazing physiques, you know, maybe not crazy lower bodies, but they have really, like, amazing upper bodies, bro. And that's because, like, they just have been doing this stuff since they were a kid, or since they were young, or whatever. And they stick to it every single day, and they're consistent at it. Consistency beats optimization. All right, you can have the most perfect little plan, you know, known to man. You can have the most perfect workout program, all the perfect foods picked out, but you're not being consistent to it. Like, someone who just does push-ups every day and pull-ups every day will beat you by a long shot, you know, in the long run, you know, by going over years and years of experience, of exercise, of putting in the work, right? You know, you were spending so much time making sure you had the perfect program, and someone who just stuck to doing calisthenics every day had beat you. But, you know, that's about it. Don't complicate stuff, you know. Don't complicate anything when it has to. And, you know, let's say you have things complicated in the first place, find ways to simplify it. You know, just a simple life is just a happier life, to be honest. See you guys in the next video.